Have you ever been stuck in a meeting that just never ends? You know the one I'm talking about, right? Where you're discussing the exact same topic week after week, and a real decision just seems impossible?
It's this crazy, frustrating experience, and believe me, you are not alone. So let's actually dig into why this happens, and more importantly, how to fix it, and we're going to do it through a story.
So, let me introduce you to Amit. He's a really sharp, ambitious marketing head, just got a big promotion. He's in charge of this massive, high-stakes project, but he's totally trapped. It's like he's living his own professional version of Groundhog Day.
The decision on the table? It's a huge one, launching a brand new premium Ayurvedic personal care line. I mean, all the data is screaming, go for it. The consumer research is solid, the financial models look amazing, and there's this perfect gap in the market just waiting for them. It should be a total slam dunk, right? And yet, here we are, 8 straight weeks. The same team in the same room for 3 hours every single Thursday, just talking in circles. And to make things worse, a competitor just announced they're launching something similar. That window of opportunity, it's closing, and it's closing fast.
So you've got to ask, what is the holdup? And here's the thing. It's not because people are being difficult or trying to block things. No, not at all. Every single person is raising really smart, valid points. You've got sales, and they're worried about channel conflict. Makes sense. Supply chain is asking about manufacturing authenticity. Super important. Finance, of course, wants to see stress-tested models. Everyone is just trying to do their job and do it really, really well.
And that's when Amit realizes his problem is actually much bigger than just this one project. He's caught in this fundamental tug-of-war that exists at the heart of his organization, and maybe yours too. It's what we call the paradox of speed.
And this is the conflict, right here. On one side, you have the market, which is screaming for speed. If you hesitate, you lose. But on the other side, you've got the company culture, and that culture values consensus. It's all about making sure everyone is heard, everyone's on board before making a big move.
It's a total catch-22. If Amit tries to push for speed, he looks reckless, like he's ignoring all this valuable input from his colleagues. But if he sticks to the process and tries to get consensus, he's just lethally slow. And here's the kicker. That very culture that made the company so successful and careful in the past, it's now becoming a huge liability.
So, Amit's feeling completely stuck, right? He does what any smart person would do. He goes to his mentor, Viraj, who's the CMO. And what Viraj tells him, well, it completely changes the entire game.
This right here, this is the aha moment. Viraj tells him, Amit, the problem isn't speed versus consensus. That's the wrong fight. The real problem is that we treat all decisions the same way. Think about that. The company was using this one-size-fits-all, heavyweight process for every single decision, big or small.
And that leads to this powerful question. What if the real skill of a leader isn't always making the decision? What if it's about designing how decisions get made? It's about building the right system so your team can find the best answer and find it efficiently.
So this insight is a breakthrough for Amit. It leads him to create this really powerful tool he calls a decision architecture. And it's basically a simple framework to help you figure out what kind of decision you're actually facing so you can match it to the right process.
Okay, let's dive into this because this is the core of it. The whole thing is built on 2 really simple questions. First, how uncertain is the outcome? Is it a sure thing or a total guess? And second, how much do you need other teams to be involved? That's interdependence. And when you map those 2 things out, you get 4 clear types of decisions.
First up, you've got individual decisions. This is the easy stuff, right? Low uncertainty, low interdependence. The facts are clear, it only affects one team, the manager can just make the call. Boom, done. No need for a 3-hour meeting.
Next, we've got consultative decisions. Okay, so here the outcome is pretty clear, but it involves other teams. You need their input. So the leader's job is to go out, gather that feedback, listen to everyone, and then make the final call. It's the best of both worlds. You get input, but one person still owns the decision, which keeps things moving.
Now this next one, experimental decisions, this was the huge light bulb moment for Amit. This is when the outcome is super uncertain, but you know what? The decision is reversible. You can undo it. So instead of debating it to death, you just run a test, a small pilot. You learn from it and you adapt. And suddenly, Amit realized his Ayurvedic launch wasn't some huge, irreversible strategic bet. It was a perfect experiment. And that brings us to the last box, strategic decisions. Now, these are the big ones. High stakes, high interdependence, and they're irreversible. You can't go back.
This is where you absolutely need that slow, careful, consensus-driven process. And this was the team's mistake, you see. They were using this heavyweight, strategic process for what was really an agile, experimental problem.
So, armed with this new framework, Amit didn't just go back and make a decision. No, he did something much more powerful. He changed the entire system for how decisions were made. And the results? Well, they were absolutely stunning.
He put 3 really practical things in place. First, explicit decision rights. No more confusion about who gets to make the final call. Second, he time-boxed the consultation process. You want to give input? Great, you have until Friday. No more endless feedback loops. And third, and this is so key, they started asking one simple question for every decision. Is this a one-way door we can't come back through? Or is it a two-way door we can easily reverse?
So, what did all this do? Well, let's look at the numbers. Before Amit made these changes, the average time it took his department to make one of those consultative decisions was a painful 47 days.
And after he put this new architecture in place, that number dropped to just 12 days. That's a massive change. And the key is, they didn't get faster by being reckless. They got faster by being smarter and more intentional about their process.
And what about that project that started this whole journey, the Ayurvedic line? Well, they launched it as a pilot. It was a huge success. They learned a ton, they adapted, and it turned into a big hit for the company. It just goes to show, thoughtful, well-designed speed will always beat pure chaotic speed.
So this whole story leaves us with a really important question to ask ourselves. Take a look at your own team, your own company. Are your meetings and processes actually designed for decisions, or have they just become places for endless discussion? It's something to really think about.